Welcome back and thank you very much for joining me. My name is Swadik Mayanja and this is Nurseflix, where I review movies for nurses everywhere. So, great movie. I'm in love with Love, Simon. I think this is a phenomenal movie. I think it's the best thing in the goddamn world. Everyone has to see this movie. So if you don't know what it is, Love, Simon is a coming-of-age story. It's a love story. It's a romance story of a high school 17-year-old young man. But there's a little twisty twist in the story. Yes, he is gay and he hasn't come out to both his family, to his best friends, to the whole world. He has not come out. And this story begins when he gets an email from a special someone at his school that is also gay but has not come out. Right? They have this weird website where there's secrets and you have an anonymous name. It's basically like Reddit for a specific school. And he's like, yes, I'm gay, but I haven't told anyone. And everyone's freaking out. And then he reaches out and is like, I have a secret too. And I think it's the same as yours. The cutest, the most adorable, loving story ever. You have to see it. So let me start off with the things that I didn't like of the movie, all right? Because I think, because they were very little. There were very small things I didn't like about the movie. So the only part of the movie, and it's a huge part, but like just the little details of the movie. I'm nitpicking here. I'm nitpicking. But the only thing I didn't like about the movie is that there was a character in the movie that was blackmailing Simon. He got a hold of some of the conversations Simon had with his anonymous other gay friend at school, soon to be boyfriend. Who knows what happens? And he blackmails Simon and says, Simon, if you don't hook me up with your really pretty good friend, I am going to leak these emails. I thought that was a little ridiculous because it's real life, right? And in real life, Simon doesn't control how his best friend feels. I thought they were stretching it a bit. Obviously, they had to make it a little intense. He was also super insanely over the top. But that was the only part that I thought was a little, I don't think that would actually ever happen. But other than that, that's it. That's literally it. That's literally it. The things I absolutely loved about this movie, the vice principal was absolutely amazing. He's from Veep. Hilarious every single time he's on screen. I'm like, I'm dying. Hilarious. And the theater production teacher coach, she's absolutely amazing. And she has this one scene after Simon is outed by that character that I didn't like. There was one scene in the movie where there was two guys making fun of Simon on top of a table in front of the cafeteria, and she comes out hardcore, and I'm like, yes, the entire time. I mean, preach, girl, preach. She, rips these two teenagers apart, like, this is embarrassing, you guys are stupid. Loved that scene. Those two characters were hilarious every single time they were in the on screen, and they weren't on screen that much. But what I loved about this movie was Simon's friend group, the tight-knit friend group, and his family. I thought those, some of the greatest supporting cast I've ever seen in a movie. Simon is like, yeah, Simon's gay, right? But it's so, you can relate to him so much. It's just every single human being's high school story, right? Like, you have a secret, or you have things about you, or you're insecure, or you're scared, you're afraid, whatever it is, right? There's things about you you don't want other people to know. Right? This is much bigger. This is humongous. This is the biggest thing in the world, right? I don't want to compare my high school experience to someone who's gay who hasn't come out yet. But I'm just saying, it's super relatable, even for people who aren't gay. He is like the most relatable coming of age love story I've seen in a while. And he's great. Simon is absolutely phenomenal in this movie. But his friend group, they were so tight. They were super tight-knit, and with this whole get your friend to like me bad guy situation, that got him and his friends in a little bit of hot water. They ended up not being friends for literally 30 minutes in the movie, and it was super sad. That was right when Simon outed him, everything in his life fell apart. And when I say I was in tears in this movie, I'm talking about drenched. Pouring tears, maybe 3 times. There was 3 times where I was physically crying, and there was another 2 to 3 times on top of that where I was just like, like the verge, right? The waters, it was right there. I'm talking about, shutting down schools because of the storm. It was pouring, hardcore pouring. This movie just tweaks at the emotion. It just pokes you the whole way through. And a large part of that was because of the family. So I talked about how great the friend group in the movie was, but his family was phenomenal, right? You look at this family and you're like, oh, they're perfect. And that's something, like, obviously it's a movie and it's great, but everyone looks way too perfect. Everyone is just on T, perfect. But they address his parents in the beginning of the movie when he's like, oh yeah, my dad was the captain of the football team, my mom was a cheerleader, and she's a therapist now, and they live in Lawrence, and like the greatest thing ever. But like, perfect family. And I mean that throughout the entire movie. The time I cried the most in the movie, side note, I don't believe in spoilers, so I'm sorry I'm saying this now, but spoiler alert, there's going to be spoilers. I don't do reviews without spoilers, but the conversation Simon has with his mom, the one-on-one, not one the big family, but the one-on-one conversation Simon has with his mom after he was outed, after he, he goes on a little stretch of keeping to himself, and then he finally talks to his mom. I swear to you, that entire time, I'm talking about like 3 sentences into that conversation, till the end of that entire scene, I was just like bawling, like just bawling all day, every day, bawling. Right? His sister finds out first in the entire family. Great, brother sister relationship there, and I believed it. Like, I believed it all the way through. But then, literally, I would say that entire scene, I'm crying, like, I can't even stop it. I can't even see the goddamn screen. And then 3 minutes later, or 4 minutes later, I don't know, like, just enough time for me to wipe my tears and start looking at the screen clearly, he has a conversation with his dad. And I'm just like, oh, my gosh. I couldn't keep it inside of me. I mean, that movie ripped me apart in the best way ever. I said no spoilers, so I am going to talk about the ending. And at the end of the movie, it was just perfect. I mean, when I say that, like, it's a coming of age movie, right? It's a love story, and it's a happy ending. It is a happy ending. He gets on this Ferris wheel, which means something because they were talking about earlier in the emails, right? So it's a big thing. There's a carnival in town. He gets on this Ferris wheel. They're on the Ferris wheel, and he's on the Ferris wheel literally the entire time the carnival's open, waiting for this anonymous person to finally show himself. Basically, half the school is out there right in front of the Ferris wheel, waiting the entire time. And then the last round, the last time, his last ticket for the Ferris wheel, he finally comes up. He gets into the thing, and the anonymous gay person is a black Jew, and the movie was amazing. Amazing. If you're gay, this is an absolute 100,000% must watch. If you have a secret, if you're in high school, if you've ever had something that you kept being if you're in high school, must watch. This should actually be in a curriculum in like an English class or like a diversity course or whatever. Must watch. If you had a secret, if you're afraid, if you have something that you are afraid to share with the world, you gotta watch it. What I'm basically saying is, if you're a human being, this movie is for fucking you. Great movie. Great movie. Absolutely phenomenal. I don't know. So I'm done. Thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment in the comment section below. Tell me how you guys felt about this movie. I was like, the best thing ever. The best thing ever. I went balls to the wall when I watched Black Panther. I'm like, this is a movie that makes me proud to be black. It's super, super great. And like, people are like, yeah, that's just because you're black, right? But like, this is what I'm saying, right? We should have more positive movies about people who have been disenfranchised in the United States more often, because they're just so good. And it's new. It is brand new. We don't see these kind of movies. We don't see these disenfranchised populations getting star roles in movies and like it being a positive thing. And this was a movie that just through and through, from beginning to end, the entire time was perfect. So, loved it. And I also need some help. I need to figure out a nursing scale, right? I don't want to do 0 to 10. I don't want to do, 5 stars. I don't want to do that. I need to do a cool, creative nursing scale. Like, I was thinking maybe medications, but I don't know what a bad medication or a good medication or, I don't know. Help me out here, nurses. Phenomenal movie. I can't figure out a rating, so I'm gonna do the 5 stars, and I'll probably say it's like a 4.8. As a 0 out of 10, I'd probably say it's like a 9, a solid 9. It's a great movie. It's a must watch. I just don't know how I'm going to enjoy it the second, third, or fourth time I watch it. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for joining me. Deuces.